Hi everyone, welcome to another video. I just thought I would, I'm organizing a perfume event in a couple of weeks. I've invited 25 people, but I know that many people won't come. I now live in a smaller place, so I'm just going to kind of keep it a little simple. We're not even going to do coffee and stuff. We're just going to meet and hang out, and then the theme for this particular event will be swap. So I just thought this is a good time to everyone can go home with something new, but no one has to spend money. That was kind of my idea. So I've asked everyone to bring at least 2 samples, like of niche designer exclusives or vintage fragrances to put in a bowl, and then everyone can grab as many as they put. That would be one way of just kind of like rotating fragrances, and then everyone brings a shoebox with their name, and then we can kind of walk around and sniff each other's perfume, and then you know like whose perfumes you're sniffing, and then you can go talk to that person. And I just thought I'd show you really quickly before I get into the theme of this video. I thought I just would show you what I think I'm going to put up for swap. One is this one, the Pearl by Norra Norrland, the Swedish brand. I think this one is a little bit close to Baldafrik by Byredo. So if you guys are interested in something that lasts a little longer than that, and you really appreciate the blackcurrant note, this might be something to try. And I mean, I think they do ship to other countries, and it's very affordable, the price for this this brand. But I'm not vibing with it. I don't like it so much. This one I might actually give to a friend. Dancing Light by Olfactive Studio. Just can't do it. I think I did talk about this in a previous video. Someone says it smells like Iceland. Someone says it's refreshing. It's kind of a cold, piney fragrance. There might be some like eucalyptus or winter greens in here. I don't know. There's something about this fragrance that really, really doesn't smell good to my nose. So that one has to go. I'm also planning on giving up Carousel by Emilien. It's kind of a, I don't hate this one. It's a floral fragrance with has some grapefruit and like I think it's black pepper in the top. It's kind of like, it's nice. I almost like it, but I mean, come on. I just want to, rotate fragrances that I don't love. And then I've got, this one's also fairly new, Floveris. It's a rosy, I think it's like rose peony mimosa. It's kind of fluffy, rosy. It smells a little bit like Pleasures from Estee Lauder. It just isn't doing it for me. I mean, I'm never going to long to wear this, but I do think it's nice. I just think it would maybe make someone else happy. And I could consider, maybe a bigger decant for that. I got it kind of like a bonus when I was purchasing fragrances. So this one I've tried to get rid of for a long time, actually. It's Ouverture by Xerjoff. There's something like, there's fig leaf in here, there's florals, there's spices. I think it's cinnamon in here that's killing it for me. I don't hate it. I'm just not loving it. So the problem is I'm not quite sure how much I have, but I know there's a way of like shining a light behind it. I think it's about this much. Anyway, that's going to go for swap too. And I have a little discovery set from Duft. I've tried these. I think I've mentioned them on my channel. I think there's one in here that I think is okay, but like that brand is just not, I'm not going to spend more time. There's just too many things to explore. And then there's this Female Christ by the Swedish brand, also 1969. I think Lucky Scent carries this. I have Capri by this brand. I love that fragrance. It's a really easy wear. It's a kind of a citrusy, freshy, but it has a lot more going on. There are layers and stuff, but this is like a really difficult kind of medicinal patchouli fragrance that smells a little bit like medicine cabinet. I'm not exactly sure what I mean by that, but there's something in here that's just like so hard to wear. So I think that it's a little travel size. I think there's like half left. There might be 6 ml in here or something. Then I'm also giving up on this Musc Oli from Caron. It's a musk. It's kind of one of those skin scents, but it's with artificial musks. I'm just not loving it. It could go to someone else. And then there's this one by the Merchant of Venice called Maria Callas. It's full of Akigala wood. I think that's why I really, really don't like this one. And there's also like other, like Georgie wood. There's other like molecules that have been like trademark protected. It's it's not good. Or at least I don't personally like it. So that was those. But now, okay, to get to the theme of the video. Oh, before we do get into that, I'll just let you know that I have ended my relationship. Just some private stuff real quick. He was coming to Stockholm last weekend. And then like by Thursday, Friday, he completely like went quiet on me. Like he wouldn't even answer questions. Like in 20 hours, there was like no answer. And then I just thought, come on, if you can't do better than this is not the kind of relationship that I want. I mean, he's lazy with writing. He has a hard time with writing, but it's just not okay for me, and especially not in a long distance relationship. Then communication is more important. And if you can't write, then lift the phone, just call me. What's the problem? So I just couldn't do it anymore. And I just thought I'm going to save him a trip. So he never came. And we're still kind of on speaking terms and chatting back and forth. And he's actually been very much more communicative the last few days than he's ever been in our very, very short relationship. Like by now I've known him for 3 months, so it hasn't been longer. But the everyday, like sharing your life on a daily basis, I think is really important. And especially if you live far away from each other, then you have to communicate in other ways. Like I don't have to hang on the phone for hours, but at least let me know, that I'm to let me know that someone's thinking about me, or, that you want to share things that happen. I just think that's, I don't know. I just couldn't do it. All right. Enough of that. I just thought I would put together kind of one purpose of this channel is to save people money, because I think people spend way too much money on fragrance, and so many of us in this community have a collection that is just too large and it's growing, and a lot of bottles just stand in there and we don't wear them, but we don't want to give them up because we can't get our money back. And then it's kind of like and I bought a lot. I just scribbled down some fragrances here that I at one point really loved and then got bored with. And it's just kind of to prove that please buy my recommendation. If you want to listen to my recommendations or not, that's up to you. But like to maybe consume a decant of a fragrance first. By 5 milliliters, you'll know if it's too boring for you, or if you can't live without this fragrance in your collection. And some fragrances are just like, even some of these, if I would sniff them today, I mean, like, they're really good. They're really good. But like, then they get boring for some reason. So I'll kind of let you know as I go along here. I talked about already Iris Prima the other day. I still have that, but that's like, it's getting boring. Like I'm at another point now. I'm reaching for other fragrances. I very, very rarely reach for that. And that's a fragrance that I've really loved. It's like one I've been on my top 10 fragrances because it's so darn good. Another one that I've talked about like years ago that I just want to mention is, because I still think it's such a great fragrance, but it's too boring to be in my closet or in my cupboard. And it's Honore Delights by Ex Nihilo. It is like the perfect musky, fresh, what is it? It's vanilla and citrus maybe, or a little iris. I'm not quite sure what's in there. It's just such a perfect fragrance, but it gets really boring quickly. Another one, Col de Bahrain by Stefan Humbert Lucas 777, which is a little bit close to Ambergris from Paris Monte Carlo, which I put in the same category. I got rid of both of these. And also I got rid of Soavissima from Profumum Roma, that kind of is no copy of these other two, but those were pretty close, the two I just mentioned. And then the Soavissima is kind of has some similarities, and that's like a real powder bomb. I can't remember the notes, but maybe there's it's floral, like purple flowers, I think. It's very, very powdery. It might have like heliotrope, and it's so good, but it's so overwhelming. And it kind of just got boring. It was just like one, like Profumum Roma don't have the most complex fragrances. I mean, they're really, really good, very potent. They project super well. They're compliment getters, but they're like, there's not a whole lot to discover. The fragrance is just there, and there's not like things to discover, like an amouage fragrance or a, what else could I compare with? Like this layered, I'm going to tell you my fragrance of the day too, in a minute, but I'm just going to get through a few more fragrances on the list. Iris Dragées is discontinued, so you won't spend your money on that. But from Lancôme, I just got really bored with it. It's a real good beginner's iris with a little like brown sugar or something, maybe some chestnut. I don't know. I can't remember what's in there exactly, but it just got boring really quick. Quelques Fleurs Royales from Aubigon. This really old French niche house. This is supposed to be like Princess Diana's favorite house. And I don't think she wore this particular flanker, but the Quelques Fleurs original, I think she wore. Rumors say that she even got married in that fragrance. I'm not sure if it's true. But Quelques Fleurs Royales is kind of like a big bouquet of flowers, kind of powdery, and also has a little bit of, there's some creaminess in there, and it has like a special honey note. I think it's like white honey. And it's really, really good. Like, but then I wore it and I wore it, and then I'm just like, this is just boring now. And I had to get rid of what I had. I've given a lot to, I think I actually decanted the rest of that one and gave the decants to friends. I think that's what happened with that particular one. And Brett de Noir from Erin is a really nice kind of seductive, vanillic, maybe tonka, maybe, I can't remember exactly the notes, but like, I just got bored. I never reached for it. It was just, I don't know, it just didn't do it for me anymore. Then back in the day, I'm just going to give you these as a list. This was kind of like in the beginning of my niche sort of journey. And these might not all be niche fragrances, but this was kind of when I was getting into niche. I really appreciated Beach Walk from Maison Margiela Replica. I just love that, but I didn't finish my bottle. I ended up getting rid of it. Lys 41 from Le Labo. My daughter wears that. It smells incredible on her, but it's a little boring. And then I also had 4 fragrances from Van Cleef & Arpels, like Gardenia Pétale, California Reverie, Precious Oud, and then the amber one that I cannot remember the name of. The black bottle is called Amber something. All 4 of those went. Like, I just got bored. They just felt like they're just going to stand here. I'm not going to reach for them because I've other things to do. And speaking of Profumum Roma, Battito Dali is also a fragrance that I found interesting. I still to this day think it's very good and very unique. But I just didn't wear it. I just kind of found it boring. I know the fragrance now. Like, I'm not intrigued anymore, even though I like it still. 1957 from Chanel, I ended up selling because I just got bored with it. Lalibela and Granada from Memo. I loved these fragrances, both of them, when I got them. Lalibela, I only had a travel size, but I didn't even use up the travel size. I wore that fragrance probably like 3 times, and then I'm just like, I don't like this fragrance anymore. It's too boring. And then Granada was like one of my top 10 for so long. Like, I just loved it. It was like orange blossom, vanilla. It had a little bit of fruitiness from pomegranate, I think. And to this day, I still have a decant, and it does smell incredibly good. And sometimes I wear it just like a people pleaser because I know I smell amazing when I wear it, but it's just not interesting to me anymore. It's boring. Okay, Koala from Zoologist really isn't boring. I didn't get bored with it. That's not why I sold it. It's just a little bit too conceptual. Like, I never maybe really, it's more like an experience than like, oh, I'm wearing a perfume, I want to smell good. So that one's a little bit different. That one has like a eucalyptus. It's oily. It's piney. There's a little bit of a freshness to it. I mean, that fragrance is good. It's not bad. And actually, these fragrances that I'm mentioning here, none of them are bad. They're just fragrances that I don't need a full bottle of because they're not interesting enough. That's kind of the title of this, of all of these. And then there's Metallic from Tom Ford, which I also was just hooked on. I thought it was such a great fragrance. And then it got really heavy. And then I got bored with it because it was so heavy. And my son ended up taking it over. And when he would wear it, I thought it was too much on him. I just got bored with smelling it. It's such a heavy fragrance. And I got bored with smelling it. So that was that one. And then there's Cuir d'Orient from Sous le Manteau. That smells really close to Cuir Beluga from Guerlain. Really, really boring to me. That one I never wore. I got bored with it like right away. I think I got like a 14 ml bottle. They have these little travel size, which I think is great. I had actually 3 from this house that I got rid of all of them because one was Poudre Impériale and the other one was Serai something that was like a white floral. They all got boring to me, so they're all Natalie Feistauer creations. So if you're into her work, maybe it's something for you. It's very powdery. I mean, I do love powdery fragrances, but these just did not, I just found them boring finally. Then there's Jasmine Rouge and White Suede from Tom Ford, which Jasmine Rouge, I got bored with so quickly. It's kind of like a spicy jasmine, I think, like jasmine, but there's more going on. A beautiful red bottle. I just got boring. And then White Suede was also like one of the first more expensive fragrances that I bought. I had 30 mil. I just love that fragrance. Oh, and I can also say Santal Blush I used to own as well. And I ended up like never wearing it. I thought it was just really boring. Oh, and then I did also put 400 on the list from Xerjoff. That one actually wasn't boring, really. That one was more like one note started to bother me. That's actually a separate list. That might be a separate video. I did also start listing videos like fragrances I once loved but can now not wear at all, because that's not the theme for this video. This is videos like, these are good perfumes. They're just very like, not a lot going on. You figure them out really quick. I got bored with them. So I just thought that would be an interesting thing to share that might save you money and that might inspire you to first get a sample and finish it, and then go out and buy the full bottle if you love it. This, of course, I should have done with, for example, the Pearl. I have not used all of this, so I can't make a dent video because I probably made 2 or 3 decants from this one, so I haven't used all this. I've used it like 3 times, and this one I bought a little bit because it was a friend of mine, or it's not a friend, an acquaintance, I would say, who opened a flower shop that also sold niche perfume. And I really wanted to, contribute to the opening of her shop, and I wanted to buy something. So I bought some flowers, and I bought this one. But I do regret it. I don't think it was worth, I don't want it in my collection anymore. I'm not going to spend any more time with this. So that was that. Now I'm going to tell you about my scent of the day. My scent of the day is, I have it in the closet. I have full bottle. It's Escale en Indonésie from Les Indemudables. And it's a beautiful ambergris fragrance with real ambergris. And it's a very, I know I say a lot that this fragrance has only base notes, and I kind of feel like it is kind of like low notes, although on the list there's like 2 different citruses, I think, or there's neroli and lemon and something more, I think, and jasmine. But now when I wore it, I knew right away I wanted to wear it. I love when that happens. Like I just have an urge, like, oh, I'm gonna wear this. It stays pretty close to the skin, but it's not like, but now I could kind of feel like, I could both feel like the neroli and citruses, but also that it does have like a floral mid. It's not just like an ambergris base going on. There's like more to it, and it does have its layers. And it's, I mean, I very, very rarely use this fragrance, and you have to kind of like pay attention yourself to wearing it. It's not going to come out like, it's not like wearing Journey Woman from Amouage that kind of like is there all the time reminding you that you're wearing a fragrance. This is kind of like, it's low key. I would definitely call it low key, but so worth it. I mean, it's such a good, I used to have Escale en Haiti as well, but that's like a vetiver version, kind of the same style of fragrance, but vetiver. And that one I got rid of. That one I got, that's all, that could have been on my list that I got bored with, but I never really loved it from the beginning. Like I thought I would buy it. Did I get a good price? I can't remember like why I bought it. I thought I wanted to explore vetiver more, and I knew I loved the brand, and I loved the Indonesia one. And then I thought this would be one to learn to love, and I never really did. And I don't think vetiver still is really like doing it for me. So that's one thing to consider as well. Like if you're exploring a new note, maybe start with some samples, maybe go for a cheaper brand. Like I could have gone for Nicolai vetiver, which I did also. There were too many. I could have, because that's so much cheaper. I ended up getting rid of that as well. So, I mean, so many fragrances have like gone through my collection, and every time it means losing money. I buy it for $100 and sell it for $50, or swap it for something. I mean, sometimes when you get a good swap, but swaps are hard. I know that if I swap these fragrances, like I will maybe end up with something new that needs to be swapped again, but at least they're rotating. And the loss, you know, money-wise is not as big if you find kind of a swap, which I think is nice. But I'm going to definitely not allow fragrances just to sit there and take space. And like, if I don't wear them, I don't wear them. I just need to admit that to myself, you know. Okay, guys, that was all for today. Please let me know, what are your fragrances that you once loved and then got bored with? I'm really curious to find out. Okay, guys, bye.